In the book The Power of Positive Habits by James Clear, Chapter 1 Introduction, The Power of Habits introduces readers to the concept that habits are powerful forces in our lives. It explains how small changes can lead to big results and why it is important for us to understand them if we want lasting success. This chapter also outlines some key principles about habit formation, such as understanding triggers, creating an environment conducive for change, setting achievable goals, and tracking progress over time. Additionally, this chapter provides a framework on how one should approach changing their behavior so they can create positive outcomes from new habits formed or existing ones modified. Finally, this chapter emphasizes that with consistent effort, anyone has the potential to make meaningful improvements in their life through forming better habits, which will ultimately bring greater satisfaction and fulfillment into all aspects of living. Chapter 2 of The Power of Positive Habits by James Clear focuses on the science behind habits. He explains that a habit is an automatic behavior triggered by cues in our environment, and it can be broken down into three parts: cue, routine, reward. To create or break a habit, we must identify which part needs to change and then use strategies such as substitution, replacing one action with another, or stacking, pairing new behaviors with existing ones. Additionally, he discusses how willpower plays an important role in forming good habits but also has its limits. When depleted, it becomes harder for us to resist temptation. Finally, he talks about why some people are more successful at creating lasting changes than others. They have better self-control skills due to their ability to delay gratification and focus on long-term goals rather than short-term rewards. Chapter 3 of The Power of Positive Habits by James Clear explains how habits work. He begins with the three-step habit loop, which consists of a cue, the trigger that tells your brain to go into automatic mode and initiate a behavior; routine, the actual behavior itself; and reward, a positive outcome or feeling. This is followed by an explanation on why some cues are more effective than others in triggering our behaviors. For example, if we associate something pleasurable with it, then this will increase its effectiveness as a cue. Next, he discusses the importance of understanding what motivates us when creating new habits, whether it be external rewards such as money or praise from other people, internal rewards like feelings of accomplishment or satisfaction after completing tasks, etc. Finally, he talks about habit stacking, combining existing routines together so they become easier to remember and perform regularly over time. Chapter 4 of The Power of Positive Habits by James Clear focuses on the power that positive habits can have in our lives. He explains how small changes, such as replacing unhealthy snacks with healthier options or taking a few minutes each day to meditate and reflect, can lead to big results over time. He also discusses why it is important for us to be aware of our current behaviors so we can identify which ones are helping us reach our goals and which ones may need some tweaking. Additionally, he provides tips on how best to form new habits while breaking old patterns that no longer serve you well. Finally, he emphasizes the importance of having an environment conducive for success when trying out new routines. This includes surrounding yourself with people who will support your efforts rather than discourage them from happening at all. Chapter 5 of The Power of Positive Habits by James Clear focuses on how to create positive habits. He begins with the idea that it is easier to build a new habit if you have an existing routine or structure in place, and suggests creating habit stacking, adding your desired behavior onto something else you already do regularly. Next, he discusses why environment matters when trying to form a new habit. For example, having certain items readily available can make forming good habits much simpler than searching around for them every time they are needed. Additionally, Clear explains the importance of setting up triggers which remind us what we should be doing at any given moment throughout our day-to-day lives so as not to forget about important tasks or activities related to building healthy habits. Finally, he emphasizes making small changes over time rather than attempting drastic overhauls all at once because this will help ensure success in achieving long-term goals associated with developing better behaviors and routines into one's life. Chapter 6 of The Power of Positive Habits by James Clear focuses on how to break negative habits. He begins with the idea that breaking a habit is not about willpower, but rather understanding why you have it in the first place and replacing it with something else. To do this, he suggests 4 steps: identify your triggers, replace bad habits with good ones, create an environment for success, and practice self-awareness. First, identifying what causes or triggers certain behaviors can help us understand our own behavior better so we can make changes accordingly. Second, instead of trying to eliminate a bad habit altogether, which often leads to failure, try substituting one positive action for another. For example, if you want less time spent watching TV, then spend more time reading books instead. Thirdly, creating an environment conducive towards achieving goals helps keep motivation high, as well as providing support from friends/family who are also striving towards similar objectives. Finally, practicing self-awareness allows individuals recognize when they may be slipping back into old patterns which could lead them away from their desired outcome. In Chapter 7, James Clear explains the power of momentum and how it can be used to create positive habits. He begins by discussing why small wins are important for creating lasting change in our lives. By focusing on making progress each day rather than trying to achieve perfection overnight, we build up a sense of accomplishment that helps us stay motivated over time. Next, he talks about the importance of setting goals and breaking them down into smaller steps so they become more achievable. This allows us to focus on what is within reach instead of getting overwhelmed with an overwhelming goal or task at hand, which often leads people away from their desired outcome due to lack of motivation or feeling discouraged when faced with too much work all at once. Finally, Clear emphasizes the need for consistency, as this will help you maintain your momentum even during difficult times where progress may seem slow but still exists if one keeps pushing forward no matter what obstacles come along the way. Chapter 8 of The Power of Positive Habits by James Clear focuses on the power that environment has in shaping our habits. He explains how we can use environmental design to make it easier or harder for us to form new habits and break old ones. To illustrate this, he uses examples from his own life, such as removing unhealthy snacks from his kitchen cabinets and replacing them with healthier options like fruits and nuts, setting up a standing desk at work so he could be more productive, creating an exercise routine where all the equipment was set up ahead of time, making it easy for him to start exercising right away without having any excuses not to do so. Additionally, Clear discusses why certain environments are better than others when trying to create positive change in your life, namely those which provide cues, or triggers, that remind you what habit you should perform next, while also providing rewards after completing each step along the way towards achieving your goals. Finally, he emphasizes how important it is for people who want lasting success with their goals/habits must take control over their environment if they truly wish to achieve long-term results rather than relying solely on willpower alone. Chapter 9 of The Power of Positive Habits by James Clear focuses on the power that beliefs have in our lives. He explains how we can use positive habits to shape and reinforce our core beliefs, which will then lead us towards success. Clear outlines 3 steps for creating a powerful belief system: identify your current set of values, create new ones if necessary, and practice them regularly until they become part of who you are. Additionally, he discusses why it is important to be aware when negative thoughts or feelings arise so that we can take action against them before they cause damage to ourselves or others around us. Finally, he provides practical advice about how small changes over time can help build strong foundations for lasting change within yourself as well as those close to you. Chapter 10 of The Power of Positive Habits by James Clear focuses on the power of identity. He explains that our habits are not just a result of knowledge or motivation, but also from how we see ourselves and what kind of person we believe we can become. Our beliefs about who we are shape our behavior more than anything else because they determine which actions feel natural to us and which ones don't. To create lasting change in your life, you must first identify with someone who has already achieved it, someone whose values align with yours so closely that their success becomes an extension of yourself rather than something foreign or distant. This is why role models play such an important part in habit formation. When you adopt the identity associated with them, it makes taking action easier since those behaviors now fit within your self-image as well as being consistent with your values and goals in life. Chapter 11 of The Power of Positive Habits by James Clear focuses on the power that community can have in helping to form and maintain positive habits. He explains how having a supportive group around you, whether it be family or friends, is essential for success when trying to create new behaviors. Additionally, he discusses why accountability partners are so important as they help keep us motivated and focused on our goals even during difficult times. Furthermore, Clear emphasizes the importance of finding people who share similar values with whom we can connect deeply. This will make forming lasting relationships much easier than if we were surrounded by those whose beliefs differ from ours significantly. Finally, he outlines several strategies for building strong communities, such as creating rituals together, example weekly meetings, setting shared expectations among members, e.g., respect each other's opinions, and celebrating successes collectively whenever possible. All these elements combined provide an environment where individuals feel safe enough to take risks while also being held accountable, which ultimately leads them towards achieving their desired outcomes more quickly. In Chapter 12, James Clear explains how to put the power of positive habits into action. He begins by discussing why it is important to focus on small wins and break down big goals into smaller ones in order for them to be achievable. Next, he talks about creating a plan that will help you stay motivated and focused when working towards your goal. This includes setting up systems such as tracking progress or using rewards/punishments as incentives for completing tasks related to achieving the desired outcome. Finally, Clear emphasizes the importance of having an accountability partner who can provide support during times when motivation may waver or become difficult. Due diligence needs extra attention from time to time. This person should also serve as someone with whom one can celebrate successes along their journey towards success. In Chapter 13 of The Power of Positive Habits by James Clear, the author discusses how habits can be powerful tools for achieving success. He explains that when we form positive habits and stick to them consistently over time, they become automatic behaviors which help us reach our goals more easily. Additionally, he emphasizes the importance of understanding why you want to create a habit in order to stay motivated throughout your journey towards change. Furthermore, Clear outlines several strategies such as setting small achievable goals and using rewards or punishments as incentives for sticking with new routines so that it becomes easier to maintain good behavior patterns even during difficult times. Finally, he concludes by emphasizing the power behind forming healthy habits. If done correctly, these practices will lead not only toward greater productivity but also improved mental health overall, allowing individuals who practice this method achieve their desired outcomes faster than ever before. Outro. With an effective plan in place and dedication from within yourself, creating lasting positive changes through habitual actions is possible. All one needs is commitment and consistency along with knowledge on what works best for themselves personally.